New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Look, it's Ebro in the morning, the amazing Laura Stiles, and the multifaceted and talented Rosenberg.
Wow.
Along with little Alexander. How you doing, man?
Lil Xan.
Lil Xan.
How you doing, man?
Xan is not for Alexander.
No, Diego.
Diego.
Yeah.
That's your real name?
Yeah.
So is Xan a translation for Diego?
No.
I'm just kidding. I know that's not the answer. I just wanted to see how you would handle it. So let's get right to it. I've only heard one of your songs, and I just literally listened to it before this interview.
Betrayed.
And the way I learned about you was from your name.
Yeah.
Which at the time when I heard about Lil Xan, I was like, maybe his name is Xander, and he's
Yeah, he thought
short
you were
for
Alexander.
Alexander.
That started actually in the YouTube comments for that video.
Got
People
it.
like his name's Alexander because it's Xan,
But it wasn't. It was Xanax.
But people still think
It was Xanax.
yeah.
Which you've now at your the elder stage of your career have decided that that's not where you want to be anymore. You've put the pills down.
No, I've been off that for a while now, and I think that's just what I'm trying to like get a message across. Like, because there's a big misconception about my name. You hear Lil Xan, people they start saying, "Oh, stop promoting Xans and stuff," and I see where they're coming from. My name,
Well, because you were initially doing that.
yeah, initially I was, and I see the name, I see where they're coming from, but that's all in like the past at this point.
I can say I was pleasantly surprised by your ability to rap a little bit on the song. I didn't expect that. I thought you was gonna be one of those like sing songier type of artists, but you actually trying to rap a little bit.
Definitely trying to rap a little bit.
A little bit?
Maybe a little bit more than that.
And started a little bit, and then get up past a little bit to a lot of it.
You got to start somewhere.
How did it start though? Because I read that you were a photographer first, right? That was your.
Yeah, I was like some amateur photographer.
Okay.
Taking pictures of like up and coming rappers and stuff. Nobody big. Then I got my camera stolen at one of the rap shows in Hollywood.
I mean, it's rap.
Yeah, and then
It's rap.
literally just said, you know what? I didn't have the money to buy a new camera because it was like a gift from my parents, and it was only $20 to make like a rap song. So I just started making like really cringy kind of rap songs, like. But I built on top of that, and that's how I got started.
Really? How did you describe your early rap
Cringy.
songs?
Cringy.
I definitely think a couple of the first ones were cringy because I didn't know how to rap. You know what I mean?
Oh, like terrible.
Yeah,
Cringy.
like they weren't like very
Terrible.
good, but I like learned like really quick. You know, like how to.
Well, that's
adapt.
sort of an interesting conversation that we have a lot because one of the things about the era that we live in is that because of technology, the entrance fee, as you just said, like literally it was cheaper to be a rapper than it was to be a photographer.
It was like $20 for the dude to mix and engineer, and I'm still with that same engineer to like this day. It's crazy.
Really?
I'm torn because Diddy put up a video the other day saying don't dilute the game, and this and that, and whack rappers talk with Funk Flex, and you just pointed out that the entry point for rap now is very easy and cheap and inexpensive, which obviously points to a devaluing of culture, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason I say I'm torn though, because clearly you wanted to be creative, right? You're a creative person, whether it was visually creative with photography, musically creative, and that was your desire. And I'm kind of stuck in this place of like how much. We had a girl up here the other day who was popping on the gram. She wanted to rap. It was terrible. And well, it wasn't terrible, it just wasn't all the way good. And I'm torn in this place of like, how do we embrace young people who want to be creative like yourself, and like having you on, despite the fact that you only have one record, there's no album yet, but also, even when an artist has problems, like we've had artists, I've interviewed artists that have a past of, being abusive to their girlfriends, you know what I mean? And it's like, when do we start helping the young people too? Because I know a lot of people watching this are like, why you guys got this guy up here, right?
Yeah.
The reason is because I think it's an awesome message that you have of transitioning off of, promoting pills into trying to, just be positive and creative.
Yeah, no, just to bring like a more positive message, like there's a lot of negativity in hip hop, especially with the young up and comers, like you said, there's a lot of them, and some people feel like we're diluting, like what hip hop really is. But I just have to say, like we're now, you know what I mean? Like, obviously we're in a position and we got ourselves here, and people, are like messing with our stuff. Like, they like us for a reason. It's because we're different, we're creative, and people be like, oh man, that stuff's whack and all that. But it's like, it's not whack. You just don't understand it, and that's what I would tell them.
That's usually. I'd like to know why so many of y'all are so sleepy. That's honestly what I would like to know. Because I was listening to your song, and then you have the sleep thing, and I was like, why? Because a lot of artists I hear, I'm like, yo, why is everybody so tired? What's going on?
Yeah.
Are you guys not sleeping? What's happening with the Lils and the Youngs?
I'm definitely. This is my first tour. I'm definitely not sleeping that much. You know, on the tour bus, it's not too easy to sleep on that thing. No, yeah, it's just
because it plays out in your music. Because in that song, what is it, Betrayal?
Yeah.
Betrayed.
Oh yeah, it's like a lullaby.
It's supposed to be sleepy.
Yeah, it's like some lullaby like type stuff. I actually made that song back when I was like abusing like a lot of drugs and stuff, so they definitely can hear that in that song.
But talk about that, because I'm curious to know like how that started for you when you started, taking drugs.
Oh, like using?
Yeah.
Like my 18th birthday. Was not a photographer. Just prior before anything. A friend just gave me a Xanax. I went to Benihana's. I woke up on the table, like on the Benihana's table.
Oh Lord!
And I was like,
It's happened to the best of us at Benihana's.
And you wanted to repeat that scenario. You had so much fun waking up on a Benihana's table. You was like, I want to do that again.
I have severe anxiety. I was already like prescribed Ativan. It's basically like a lower dosage of Xanax, and that's kind of what led me to like, discover Xanax. And I just got like I'm telling you, when I have severe anxiety, I was puking. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. They did everything to try to figure out what was wrong, and at the end they gave me like a little bit of Xanax, and they're like, "Oh my God, you just have anxiety," and I was like, it feels like I'm dying every day. So that just led to
When did that start? When did you start?
April 2014.
When you started throwing up and having anxiety.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Like I was a perfectly fine kid, and then one day it just hit me. I think it was like a breakup or something, to be honest.
Oh, like some severe heartbreak.
Yeah, like some severe heartbreak stuff.
Wow. And
then I just remember April 2014 to now, it's just like a battle in my head.
So how do you deal with it now that you're not getting help from the?
It's like you learn, you know what I mean? Like you learn like things. Everybody's different. Like you learn how to control your breathing patterns. Your mind's always racing. I think occupying yourself is the best remedy, like keeping yourself busy, but I can't always do that. So it's like,
what about, did you decide to ditch all prescription drugs, or what about things like Lexapro or other
I just seen a psychiatrist, and I forgot what it was, but they gave me something like Lexapro along the lines of that. Maybe, what was it, like Zoloft, yeah.
So yeah, because there are certainly things short of Xanax that you could take.
Oh yeah, definitely, like anti-anxiety, antidepressants, and all that. I definitely haven't been.
What was the turning point though? So you obviously started. I mean, they're extremely addictive, right? So you start. You're addicted at that time. But what was the turning point that made you be like, I can't do this anymore?
When my music started to just kind of go up more than it was, because I was used to before. I had a song called Slingshot, and before that song, I was used to like 50,000 plays on SoundCloud. I thought that was like good and stuff. And when we dropped the video to that, and it got 1 million on the video in like a month, and that was my first 1 million. So I was like, oh, I'm not used to like 1 million anything. And then we dropped Betrayed a couple weeks later, and it got like 1 million in like 4 hours. And I was like, oh, okay. So I really started to think like, if I'm gonna be living this like life, I know how drugs in the industry go together, and it's like perfect. I can't be doing that because like this life is crazy. Like nonstop working, I can't be high and all that. So I really, and I mean, there's a plethora of other reasons too why drugs aren't good and stuff. But I just realized for like my own sake and for the people around me, I had to get off that.
Do you think the passing of Lil Peep impacted people?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was like it was a tragedy. I remember I was literally having like a panic attack, and then someone told me Peep had passed, and that just sent me into like even crazier, because it's like we do the same thing, you know what I mean? Like we're in the same, like I didn't know him personally, but it feels like a coworker, at that sense. Mm-hmm. And I loved his music. I loved like what he was. It was sad, yeah. I think it impacted the whole hip hop community. Honestly, they all started to get off that stuff.
I'd like to understand that, I'm 42, so I come from a different time. And I'd really like to understand, and I know mental health, we're having a larger conversation that's crossing cultural barriers. And, going to therapy was something that, when I was coming up, that's what rich people did. You know what I'm saying? And even still today, I think if you got to have healthcare and you got to pay a copay, like you still have to.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to pay out of pocket, and if you pay out of pocket, it's very expensive.
It's very expensive, right? Yeah. So it's still something that you got to have some stuff to get to get to go talk to somebody. But what was going on in your world, and maybe this will help me learn about people that of your age. What's going on in your world where you have so much anxiety or these like when I hear words like that, when somebody's like, "Yo, I'm having a panic attack," like that's crazy stuff to me. Like, yo, why are you having an attack of some sort? You feel me? But nowadays I hear people say like I have so much anxiety, like I'm so stressed.
That's the thing is there's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm like nervous, I'm having anxiety, but they're not having like. They're having what they believe is anxiety, but it's not really anxiety. Everybody gets nervous. Everybody, has that thing. But that's not like true anxiety. Like true anxiety is like your heart racing. You're on the floor throwing up. You're about to pass out. You can't sleep. You can't eat. It's a real disease. And I think people take advantage of it. You know what I mean? People either think it's not a real disease. I know my dad definitely didn't think it was real. He's like, what
are you talking about?
Like my dad would always be like, what's anxiety? He just didn't understand it. Someone who's never gone through a serious like panic attack or anxiety unfortunately won't know what real anxiety is. All these kids that are like, oh my God, I'm having so much anxiety. It's not really anxiety.
Did your dad embrace your feelings and emotions? Like if you had a feeling or an emotion, was your dad somebody you could go talk to about it?
Yeah, of course. Both my parents. I have very supportive parents growing up. We didn't have like too much money, but they always managed, get me. Like,
it wasn't like you were being, forced to not be emotional or manage your emotions in your household.
No doubt. I think if anything, I was the one forcing my emotions, like trying to keep them bodied in, because I don't like putting that on nobody. But that's all my fault. No, my parents super supportive. I love them to death.
How did your parents? When did like the tats start, and how did your parents react to that?
Oh yeah, my first tattoo was Candy on my face, my mom's name, and that came before the photography, before all that. I was like, I don't know. I was just, I was taking Xanax and all that, so that's probably what put it in my mind. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna go get a face tat. Nobody believed me. Got up and I went to go get it, but I was like, wait, before I get this face tat, what can I get that my mom isn't gonna be super mad, but she's still gonna be mad? I was like, her name. So I was like, I got.
Did you want to make her mad?
Definitely no. I was a little.
So why did you want the face tat though? Like what?
Because I knew that I was gonna start. Like I was already going to LA. A lot of my friends were just up and coming rappers. I wanted to just stand out, and I knew that like aesthetic is a really big part of this whole hip hop and culture thing. And I knew that my face,
hip hop corrupted you, man,
and I
polluted your mind.
And I knew that to get to a certain level, I needed to make myself noticeable. And I don't think, I'm not saying.
Well, now it's everybody got a face.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Was how many years? That was
you got robbed.
That was a few years ago.
I would say there was definitely cats with face tats. I'm not like a pioneer, nowhere near.
We know you.
The face
we would
tat.
remind you.
Yeah, but I just thought it was like a good thing to do.
What are these the Z's under your eye?
That's because I was always sleepy.
Oh.
So that's generally you were always kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
So the disease is just a play on who you are.
You need to go see a nutritionist.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Why?
Because I'm dead ass believe this. I believe the pharmaceutical companies and some doctors take advantage of people and they just prescribe them.
Oh yeah, they make money off
100%. I believe your generation obviously is basically just a almost like it's like a slot machine for pharmaceutical companies. Like the amount of money that pharmaceutical companies have made and the amount of addictions.
The human race is a slot machine for the pharmaceutical companies.
I'm not in that though. Like I don't take pharmaceutical drugs.
Not everybody does.
But I think that a lot of people don't know how much their nutrition and diet could, you wouldn't be so sleepy.
Oh no, no doubt.
B, it may help you with your anxiety a little bit, right? And some of that stuff because it would.
Yeah.
The amount of pollutants that we put in our body from high fructose corn syrups and just foreign shit that's made in labs that tastes really good and candy and et cetera, contributes to the pollution of our nervous system and our inability to think clear. And I think you should go see a nutritionist, man.
Thanks, Dr. Ebro.
Yo, Ebro's one notch from being fucking Sharif and Menace to Society, bro.
Yeah.
You're seconds away from sitting
Sharif
on the
and Menace to
cooler.
Society.
I
love him.
I agree.
Great guy.
I agree with you. My mom also agrees with you because she be telling me that.
Well, what do you eat like? Let's start there though. So what's the diet?
Terrible.
Like? Terrible.
Your whole team is
All right,
laughing as
take
soon
us-
as we brought that up.
Take us through a day.
While everyone laughs, real shit though, and I know it's light and people don't think it's real, and these guys will tell you this is not just because you're here.
No, I'm not doubting. I agree.
No,
with
we're,
you.
he's on this, we're on this every day.
And
He's
Lil
like,
Yachty came here, and I was like, bro, you don't drink water. Like,
never drinks water.
You don't eat fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
No wonder your hair is that color, and you think what you're doing is gonna, like, fam, you got to pull it together.
Well, so
Like,
what is your diet on a daily basis? Take us through a day.
This tour crazy. Can't really eat good. McDonald's.
bullshit.
McDonald's.
Bullshit. You got a staff.
They'll get you whatever you want.
McDonald's.
By choice. Right, exactly. Sorry. Stat
Okay.
Quo jumping in. His manager, Stat Quo. Thank you, Stat Quo.
All right. So
I ain't
have you
front. I like
seen
McDonald's.
have you seen Super Size Me?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh.
Well, Laura, McDonald's does some fantastic work. Let's not bash everything about McDonald's. but you can't have it every meal.
moderation.
You
Yeah,
can't have it every
moderation.
meal.
These are things people do every day. It's not that these things, like, of course you could drink soda if that's what you want to do, but some people literally drink soda first
Ebro,
thing in
didn't
the
I see a
morning.
new rapper named Lil Soda the other
Yeah,
day?
you told me that.
I know. You're talking.
There's a Lil Soda and Lil B and Young Beef.
I
Yo,
saw
what's going
Young
on
Beef.
out here? What we need some
No,
we need like young
hip-hop.
spinach.
Hip hop needs an
Young
intervention.
spinach.
You know,
That's what it
Lil
is.
arugula. Like, let's get
Lil
this health
broccoli.
food.
It's turning into a spoof. It is turning into a spoof.
So do you never eat salad? You never have. What about water? You drinking any water?
Minuscule amount of water.
Minuscule amount
This
of
is the problem.
water. Little
This is why you have
Zan.
nervous system issues, man.
We got to work on this.
You gotta get some water in your system, man.
I keep telling
Ebro,
myself.
do you know a water company that can maybe send him
Of
some?
course, we'll get him some water, man.
From who?
We'll get you some
As long as
water.
not
Get ounce,
Arrowhead.
man. We'll get you some water, man.
I
Ounce
hate
water.
Arrowhead.
You hate? No, don't worry. We'll get you some water, man. We'll get you
If
some
we
water.
get you water, will you put it on the bus and take it on
I
tour with
will
you?
definitely put it on the bus and probably still not
Well,
drink
but
it.
I know it's annoying, and you know you go to school, you grow up, and your parents are like, eat your vegetables. I got news for you guys. If you want to live, you should probably listen to your parents. They've been here a long time. I know it sounds cliche and stupid, but vegetables, water, and getting off fast food every day and candy and shit change your life.
Yeah, I no doubt about
Rosenberg,
that.
speak up. You've changed your nutrition
Well, I'm
over the
trying
last
to.
year.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. I mean, I think that a lot of this generation. Well, by the way, let's be clear, by the way. If you're going to go back 20 years, the rappers who were on tour 20 years ago ate like shit also. So let's start right there.
Everyone always
Everyone
ate like
does
shit,
it.
not even just rap.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, this is just what the world is.
Yeah.
But I do think that it would be game changing for you.
Oh, I'm
and you obviously
I'm
seem
way-
interested in being healthy because you got
I want to be healthy so bad, but you just fall into this like a pattern, eating unhealthy. It just becomes the norm.
easy.
It's hard to break out of.
No, it's easy to be unhealthy.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
much
Oh,
easier
yeah,
to be
yeah.
unhealthy
Oh,
because you don't
yeah.
have to put any thought into it.
Yeah.
Anywhere you turn, there's bullshit everywhere. It's so
Yeah.
easy to be unhealthy.
We have faith in you. You gave up the Zans, so we're
Yeah, this is
good.
way
I
easier
give
than
up
that.
the drugs. I need to give up.
You're
the
good. You're good.
McDonald's.
Tell us about your tour, though. Who's on tour with you?
Just me and my good friend Steven Cannon, the one I was actually taking pictures of back in the day. Yeah, it's been a crazy tour. We started off in Vancouver. Where were we last night? I already forgot.
Boston
See, if you
last night.
drink water and you
would
change
know.
your diet, you remember.
That's just
And what
me.
size venues you doing? How many people are we talking about?
Like 1,000, just like 1,000. This tour we wanted to do like smaller, just like for the first run. But
And that's a pretty good first run, man.
So wait,
Yeah.
That's
I want
pretty
to go
good.
back. I want to go back to something you said. You said you were you were a photographer. Camera gets stolen. Boom. Didn't have money to get a new camera, but I want to be in the game. So you're looking at this rap game. You're a fan of the music. You want to be in it. Boom. I'm gonna put a song up. Right? Put song up. How did you pick Lil? Because now I want to scratch around.
that
and do-
actually that was prior to even the rap.
Okay.
The nickname.
So they called you Lil what?
Zan.
Lil Xan.
Lil Xan.
Because you were always on Zan.
Yeah. Because I was
Got
always
it,
yeah.
got
I was
it,
in
got it,
I was in Austin, Texas for my first South by Southwest as like a photographer, and we walked into this like convenience store, and my friend was like, "I'm just gonna call you Lil Xan because you're clearly hella off the Xans, And the nickname started prior to the rap, and I was like, "Well, what should my rap name be?" And I was like,
Lil Xan.
"Someone gotta be Lil Xan."
Right.
Lil Xan. Would you ever change your name?
Yeah, of course.
What would, if you had to pick a new rap name, what would it be?
Diego, my name.
You would just go with Diego.
Yeah, and
Now let me ask you this: do you think your fans will make that transition with you?
Yeah, they're already rocking with it. We're already halfway through the like transition.
So the next album, so when you put your album out, it might just be
Second album is definitely under Diego.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, definitely under Diego. The fan at every
dope.
show I ask them, and they say Diego every time.
Well, and also, yeah, I'm guessing already once fans really knew that was your name, and when I met you just now, you introduced yourself as
Introduce
Diego.
yourself,
yeah.
That obviously your real fans already call you Diego because
Yeah.
that's like that's to know you.
Yeah, definitely some call me Xan, but like a majority of them is crazy to hear him call like me by my name is crazy.
Are both your parents Mexican?
My dad is full Hispanic. My mom is mostly Hispanic, but she got like a little like Polish in there.
Do they Spanish in the house growing up or no?
My dad's side, yeah, definitely. But he never taught me how to speak Spanish, unfortunately.
Damn,
That's
man. Damn.
Happens to
How
the
you
best
feel
of us.
about that? You got emotions around that? Some emotions
I would
around
have
that?
liked to have known a second language, you know, be a little cultured in that sense. Because we used to take trips down to Manzanillo, Mexico City, and all that, and I just couldn't talk to.
And you were just like a gringo.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
basically.
Yeah,
right.
gringo life. I know it well.
Yeah.
So when are you dropping
Gringo life,
when are you
I
dropping
know it well.
full album?
It was originally March 17th, but we pushed it to April 6th.
April 6th full
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, full album.
And what's it called?
Total Xanarchy.
Total Xanarchy, and that's
Yeah.
under Lil Xan, but
That's
that's gonna
under
be the only
Lil
one.
Xan, because, you know, like, I don't want to like rush the name change, but the second album definitely gonna be under Diego.
So Total Xanarchy, obviously playing on Anarchy. You have the sleep based on the one song. I know this will be literally the most calm Anarchy.
oh yeah.
Yeah, yo, it's good vibe,
it'll be
laid
like
back.
It's like a nap Anarchy. It's Anarchy of naps.
The lullaby anarchy anthem. I like that. Yeah, you know, the album definitely is like a wide assortment of songs. You know, we got more like the bangers, but we also have the lullabies. Definitely, I think that's what kind of makes me a little bit who I am. You know, it's just like some lullaby rap stuff, but I mean the people like it. So,
What was your favorite rap growing up?
like my favorite rap, like is in rap.
Yeah, I know you love Nerd. I know you love
Yeah.
Mac Miller, but like,
Oh
yeah. What else?
Growing up, Mac Miller. I was listening to Mac Miller. It's crazy because I just like talked to him the other day for the first time.
Oh, really?
And that was like the first time I actually felt like.
You reached out to him? How did
Oh,
it
he
happen?
reached out to me. I mean, I've met him at a video shoot, but I don't think he knew who I was. But like he said he'd heard Betrayed, and then he just hit me, and it was crazy because I was like, man, that's like who I was listening to growing up. That's crazy.
Did you guys talk about music or addiction or what did you guys talk about?
Music. Definitely. Expect some music soon with me, Mac. That's crazy.
I think it's crazy. What's crazy to me, and
Is that you said growing up on Mac Miller?
and that if you really break it down, that it makes sense.
How many years?
Matt Miller's been out
6.
No, Matt Miller's like 8,
long.
9, 10 years in the
Yeah.
It's
game.
been 10 years already.
Yeah, another person on the list of Peter Rosenberg called him out for no reason, and then we became friends. That's how long. You don't even remember.
Oh, you came from? Why'd you come? Because he was white.
And he came right after Asher Roth. And I was, I was like
okay.
Team Asher all day. I was like, who's Mac Miller? We don't need this. What
my
part of the
God.
game? And he rapped on the Lord Finesse beat, which I really liked.
he got sued
and then he
for
ended up
that.
getting sued for
Yeah.
it.
Right.
And by that point, I really liked him. And,
wow.
But yo, he's been around for a long time already. He
Yeah.
already transitioned and made like his last album
The
was
Divine
like
Feminine.
yeah, it was like
He made,
borderline like
soulful,
like soul
musical.
R&B. Like
Yeah.
I like
loved it.
that's the
Great
thing about
album.
Mac Miller is like the evolution from like Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza Kids to like the Divine Feminine is ridiculous. Like the
How old are you right now?
I'm 21.
21. And you put out your first song how old?
Probably 20. Yeah.
So it's only been a year.
Like 19. I'm about to turn 20 years.
Late
and
19.
change.
So
Yeah,
a
late
year and a
19.
half.
Yeah.
Wow, man. It happens fast, guys. It happens really fast.
And I will say, like, you can. It's interesting though, because what we were talking about earlier, the entry point to the game.
Yeah.
What do you do to distance yourself? Because like everyone, for example, we came in an era where the only way to make it was to get a radio show, and that took a super long time. But now everyone can be like, well, I got a podcast, and if your podcast pops, it's great. But there are millions that don't.
Yeah.
What did you do to separate yourself from every other Lil and Young out there on SoundCloud? How did you get to be one of the people who's really out there?
It was like a little like risky, obviously, with the name Lil Xan. I definitely thought about early on the longevity of a name. Could Lil Xan really be at the Grammys? You know, that name. I think my sound is what really like made me stand out. You know what I mean? My voice and the type of, like you said, like the lullaby stuff, it's just different. You know, and this album, because I got like music out, but this album is really like where I feel like I shine with the whole creativity, and it's a lot of stuff people haven't heard. It's a very mature sound, like, and I don't think they're gonna expect it.
I didn't expect what I heard. I'll be honest.
Well, you didn't expect it to sound so complete.
I didn't expect the quality to be as high because I hear a lot of things that are new that aren't done well. And when I say done well, a lot of people watching think I'm just talking about lyrics. I'm talking about music, like the musicality.
The overall.
Also, a complete thought. A lot of people just put out fucking flim flam shit that's just random whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like you were trying to have a complete thought. I didn't at the time know exactly what it was. I'm gonna go back and check it again because I started falling asleep because it's very sleepy. It's a lullaby. You said it was. But yeah, I appreciate that you're trying to do things that are musical and a complete thought. So I think that may, if anything helps you stand out, it won't be the Lil, it might be the music.
You know what?
Yeah.
And Zan, I'll tell you this, Diego, if you will. What made me realize that we need to look a little more and kind of fight against my reaction to be like, oh, face tattoo, Lil, whatever.
Kool-Aid color hair. You got Kool-Aid color hair?
No.
His hair looks normal.
No.
But what made me realize that a lot of it is worth digging into was when Pete passed away, because
his music was great.
We literally missed Lil Peep.
Oh.
I didn't know him at all till he died. Did not hear a song till he died.
Yeah.
So then I go on and watch the Awful Things video, and I'm like, holy shit, this dude was like a complete artist already, and he was a kid.
He had such a different sound. He's like mixing like alternative rock and rap and stuff.
But he also, in passing, he did to me. He made me realize that like an artist like you, where it would be easy for me to be like, let me dig in a little bit and see, because some people are really putting some shit together.
Fans, and shout to fans of Peep and everybody else, because you guys clearly don't care what people's names are, which is awesome. You guys are very accepting, because these names throw me off. Young Beef, I was like, what is happening?
I never heard that till right now. That's crazy.
Young Beef,
he's actually Spanish. I think he might be Mexican. He raps in Spanish.
Oh, I thought you said he was from Spain. I thought you looked it up and said he was from Spain.
No, I didn't go
Just
that far.
Spanish.
I didn't Google him. I just saw it.
All right, guys.
I thought there was a Google.
Stop.
No Google?
Stop it.
All right.
His name's Young Beef. I listened to the song.
See?
That's enough.
And you did it again. Young Beef may become your favorite artist, and you judging because of the name.
Yes. Packaging, man. Packaging.
But listen, but if this is the key part.
Never judge a book by its cover. However, people do. That's
Right.
why they have covers.
Yo, it's facts. But remember, the packaging is not made for us.
It's
the
not.
packaging is literally made
And
for the
that's
people
why I
of your
shouted his
generation.
fans out.
Right.
Because they don't care about
that's
packaging.
the package is for them. And they see it and they go, oh, but we're at a different age. So the shiny colors and the names and the face tattoos, that's packaging that we kind of go away from.
Yeah.
But you open it up and dig in, and some of it's just good shit.
Yeah, no, like you said with Lil Peep, I was listening to Lil Peep, like before he even blew up, and I already knew like, man, this music's crazy, and like what you said, there's a lot of artists that you guys probably will like overlook, just due to their retarded name.
Glad you said it.
But
Lil
like,
Xan just said all y'all names is retarded.
definitely didn't.
Actually didn't.
Definitely did not.
Nice try.
But yeah, there's a lot of good music out there.
Speaking of which, who of your peers did you put on the album?
Yeah, I could definitely.
Can you give us some? Give us one.
Yeah,
You're on 97. Come on.
I got YG, 2 Chainz, Charlie XCX,
Okay.
and Diplo.
You out of here.
All right, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last interview with Lil
we may not
Xan.
see Xan again.
Name change will be Diego.
We won't see Xan or Diego.
See you later.
Xan, Diego, none of them coming back.
Nice meeting you, man.
Yo, that's a crazy lineup.
Yeah, we wanted the album to really be something else, you know what I mean?
And if you're at home sick because you've been rapping for 10 years and nobody knows who you are, and he's been rapping for 18 months, you should be. Throw up on yourself, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what else to tell you.
come with a better plan. Bring something.
Yeah. Nice meeting you, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Good luck with everything.
Congrats, Diego.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Let's go,
appreciate it.
Diego.